What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close and we are now 233 subs away from hitting 500 subs. And who knows, maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the year. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of this set. But with that being said, if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 70% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ats will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is basically today's video. But the question of the day is this: among the card as it sits now, what are your guys' predictions for WWE Crown Jewel? Let me know down in the comments below. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing for today's video, is doing predictions for Crown Jewel. And honestly, I'm looking at the card, and I'm being honest, this might just be one of the best Crown Jewel cards we have had ever. Like, ever. So when you look at when you look at last year's Crown Jewel last year was it was a bit interesting to say the very least. I mean, we saw Seth Rollins defend the World Heavyweight title against Drew McIntyre. We saw Rhea Ripley in a fatal 5-way match for the Women's World title. We had Roman Reigns defend his WWE title against LA Knight. We had Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio for the United States title. Priest versus Cody. John Cena versus Solo Sikoa, which that one was a complete blowout. And then of course we had Io Sky versus Bianca Belair for the WWE Women's title, which obviously no thanks in part to Kairi Sane. Well, we all know. But think about this: just this year alone, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 premium live events this year alone. We've had 15 PLEs this year, and we still have at least what, another 2, maybe 3 more, Crown Jewel included. Come on, WWE has been red hot this year. Crown Jewel, I have a feeling that Crown Jewel might just end up becoming probably one of the best Saudi Arabia PLEs that WWE has done ever. Like looking at this card, I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm just gonna get straight into it, and we kick things off with the match that was just announced last night, just over an hour after Raw went off the air. We found out that the OG Bloodline will be facing off against the new Bloodline in a 6-man tag team match. Excuse me. So here's what's really interesting about this whole thing. This whole thing with the OG Bloodline, with the new Bloodline, all the chaos that surrounded Jay, with Jay having to deal with Roman as his right-hand man, facing him at Money in the Bank, facing him at SummerSlam, having to deal with the Judgment Day, becoming Intercontinental Champion, dealing with Braun Breaker, trying to figure out, what's going on with New Day, with War Games, the last couple of years. All that chaos all started about literally 4 years ago, when Jimmy Uso showed up inside Hell in a Cell and became Roman's sacrificial lamb to make Jey Uso say I quit. It literally started with that. Literally that. And it's weird. It's weird because almost every single time that Jay has been in title opportunities, whether it was the World Heavyweight title, the WWE title, the US title, the tag titles, the IC title, anything that didn't involve his twin Jimmy Uso would get involved and would cost him literally everything. He literally cost Jay every title opportunity damn near that Jay's ever been given. And why? Simple. Jimmy Uso wanted Jay to fall back in line. That's all it was. And now think about this. With this new Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga Loa, Jacob Fatu, with them, banding together against both Usos and Roman Reigns. I don't know. This is a bit of a weird one, because when you look at what had happened in the last 6, 7, maybe 8 months at best, a lot has happened, especially since WrestleMania. Jay pins his own twin Jimmy. Jay helps Cody finish the story. I mean, a lot has happened, and I'm starting to believe that the OG Bloodline might be a permanent thing. But given the fact that Jay wants to regain the Intercontinental title, I'm assuming that this might only last until possibly after through War Games, which obviously will excuse me, which will obviously be in about a few weeks, actually. So with everything that's been going on, it comes down to who needs this victory more. Is it the OG Bloodline, or is it the new Bloodline? And as crazy as it sounds, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for saying this, but I think that it's the new Bloodline. And the reason for this is because of one thing. while it is true that both, and something just came up. I'll be right back, you guys. Hang on. Alright, you guys. Alright, you guys. I'm back. Sorry about that. My dogs were barking, all at the wind outside, and they wouldn't shut up. Anyway, moving on. Where was I? Oh, right. Right. So while it is true that Roman Reigns wants to regain the WWE title, Solo wants it more. And the reason why he wants it is simply because he wants the Roman Reigns treatment. But here's the thing. It really doesn't matter who would challenge Cody for the title. Either way, if either one of them wins the title, we would be back at square one. Excuse me, trying to figure out who in the hell is gonna. Sorry guys, can't speak. Trying to figure out who the fuck is gonna take the title off of either Roman or Solo, and if Cody were to lose to either one of them, it would be one hell of a battle for Cody to try and take the title back from either superstar. And honestly, and I think if the new Bloodline were to defeat the OG Bloodline, this would definitely establish themselves as some of the most dominant superstars on SmackDown right now. Because right now, as far as like who's the most dominant, is obviously the OG Bloodline. Obviously Jay's obviously Jay's back in the fold, which could obviously be a temporary thing. Which could be a temporary thing, which we'll have to see as time progresses. But again, Jay's only back in the fold just to get payback at the new Bloodline for costing him the Intercontinental title last week on Raw. And we know full well that Jay never forgets, and it takes a lot for Jay to forgive. It takes a lot for Jay to forgive, and this time, I don't know. I don't know. I think the idea of Jimmy costing Jay a lot of championships, and the fact that Roman has pushed Jay to his breaking point, it's still rolling in the back of his head, and I think that's what's gonna motivate Jay to just go back to SmackDown just for that stint only, and then go back to Raw to try to regain said Intercontinental title. But again, I think the new Bloodline needs this more than anything, because this can definitely put them back in line to potentially challenge the Motor City Machine Guns for their newly won tag team titles, and it can also put Jacob Fatu in line for a shot at the United States title. And Solo, well, we all know. But then again, we could also see Jacob Fatu go after the WWE Speed title, which obviously we all know that those episodes air every Wednesday on X. So I don't know. This is a weird one. This is probably going to be one of the biggest matches in Crown Jewel history. But if I had to put my money on one team, it would definitely have to be the new Bloodline, because obviously the egos that are in the OG Bloodline as of right now are just so, they're just so massive right now. It's gonna get to a point where they're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and they're gonna end up losing. So if they're able to put their egos aside just for that one match, then maybe they might have a chance, but obviously the new Bloodline needs this more than anything, so my money is going to be on the new Bloodline. Next up, we have the WWE Women's Tag Team titles being defended, as Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair will defend against Damage Control, Metaphor, and of course the team of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. This is weird because Jade and Bianca have only been champions in their second reign for only like maybe a couple months, and already they've had about what, 2 or 3 title defenses since Bash in Berlin, and they both said that they wanted the competition, and they got the competition. They got Damage Control, they got Metaphor, they got Chelsea and Piper, and it's weird because there are so many combustible elements in this whole situation. We saw Lash Legend hit Piper Niven, literally carry Piper Niven with some sort of like slam, about a couple weeks ago, and we even also saw Damage Control defeat Metaphor last Tuesday on NXT, and not only that, Io Sky pinned Bianca Belair, which that right there is a rare sight. It is a rare sight to see, and and the weird thing is, if you count both the main roster, if you count the main roster, NXT, and the Mae Young Classic, Bianca Belair has only lost a small handful of matches throughout her whole time in WWE. Not just on the main roster, not just in NXT, but also as part of the Mae Young Classic, which is where we first saw Bianca Belair, and it's just so incredibly crazy. And the weird and the crazy thing is that the champions only have a 25% chance of retaining the tag team titles. So as far as the champions and Damage Control goes, as long as they're able to isolate as long as they're able to isolate both Metaphor and of course Green and Piper, exclude them away from the match as much as they can focus on each other, and we would see one team walk out as champions. But I have a feeling that this matchup is going to be rather unique, or I guess rather interesting would be the more better term. And the reason for that is because the last time Jade and Bianca defended their tag team titles in Saudi Arabia, it was actually earlier this year. At literally the night before King and Queen of the Ring. Actually, it was on the night of King and Queen of the Ring, where they defeated Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae to retain the tag team titles. And since then, those two ladies have been one unstoppable force. And I don't know. I think under Fatal 4-Way rules, we could see brand new champions, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I think my money is on Damage Control. I think by them regaining the tag team titles, I think this can definitely help reestablish Damage Control as one of the best female factions in WWE right now, and I think that's what they need. But obviously, Jade and Bianca always find a way to win. So I think my money will be on Jade and Bianca. Speaking of champions, next up, the United States title, as LA Knight defends the United States title against both Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. And it's weird. It's weird because Melo and Andrade have been in this best of 7 series over the last couple of months where they were both at 6 wins apiece, or sorry, 3 wins apiece, and game 7, LA Knight was the special guest referee, and he basically got himself a triple threat. Plain simple. Obviously, we know that Andrade is a former U.S. champion in his own right. His title reign, I think, lasted about 142 days or something like that. I need to see. I need to take a look really quickly, but I believe that is the case. Let's see. Let's see. Here we are. United States title. Let's see. Reigns. Here we are. Here we are. Andrade's run. Andrade's run 151 days as champion. So overall, and the crazy thing is that's just off of one championship run. That's off of one championship run, 151 days, just one run. And the crazy thing is, the longest reigning champion out of only one reign, and only one reign, and one reign only, is Rick Rude with 378 days. But if you were to look at this title and think of the combined and think of the days as champion under multiple reigns, it's actually Lex Luger with 950 days, which is amazing. So obviously LA Knight has he's literally in possession of history, and both Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, they want to be a part of that history, but LA Knight right now is at a point where he's been champion since SummerSlam, and I don't think his reign as champion is gonna end anytime soon. It could though, but I think I don't know. This is a bit of a hard one, just because of the fact that when you look at all three of these men, they've been in the ring against one another in some form or another. Obviously, Melo had once challenged for the United States title at one point. We saw Andrade and Melo in the best of 7. A lot's happened, and honestly, I think the one person that needs the victory the most is obviously LA Knight, because if he's able to retain the United States title, then he will prove to the entire world that his reign as champion wasn't just a fluke, and that he actually earned it. But if he loses on Saturday, there's really no telling what we can expect. There's no telling what we can expect from either Melo or Andrade as champion. But my money is on LA Knight. Yeah. And speaking of bitter rivalries, next up we We got a bit of we got a bit of an interesting one. So we have Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, and it's going back with Jay, talking about Jey Uso again. You know, the chaos, surrounding him. People also forgot that Roman orchestrated the assault on Randy Orton, putting him on the show for a year and a half, and Randy didn't forget. Excuse me. Randy didn't forget, and yeah, I think funny enough, he was able to forgive Jay for what happened, but Kevin Owens, he was a bit skeptical, and when Roman Reigns came back, Kevin Owens was just as skeptical, and when Cody took Roman's side at Bad Blood, it all just boiled down. It all just exploded. Kevin Owens turned heel. It just was it was just pure chaos, and because of the assault on Cody after Bad Blood, Kevin got fined from the reports that I had read and from the rumors that I had heard. Kevin Owens got fined a shit ton of money and got suspended indefinitely until further notice. But Randy Orton was like, nah, lift up the suspension, let me beat this bitch's ass. And Triple H was like, you know what? Okay then, go for it. And now it comes down to this. Funny thing is, people forgot that a number of years ago, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton actually did fight against each other at one point, and it's weird because Kevin Owens was still a part of the NXT roster at the time, and weirdly enough, you look at these two, and there was a time where we almost were gonna see them as tag team champions. We figured that they would be tag team champions, but it just was not. It just wasn't the case, and it's been boiled over for months now. I think since SummerSlam when Roman came back, and I'm starting to think that maybe we might see Kevin Owens become babyface again, because I know that babyface Kevin Owens was probably one of the best things that happened to KO, because he owned up to his mistakes, and now I don't know. This is a bit of a weird one. I think this might be one of those matches where it's gonna get to a point where we could see where we can see Cody Rhodes end up joining the Bloodline, joining the OG Bloodline in War Games, and Kevin Owens just ruins everything, or something like that, you know. But I don't know. But Randy Orton, he considers Cody his family, and he felt the exact same way about Kevin Owens, but not anymore. So it comes down to who needs him more, Kevin Owens or Randy Orton. And crazy enough, I think it's Kevin Owens, because by defeating Randy Orton, this puts him back in line for a potential shot at the WWE title. And while it is true that Randy Orton had a shot at the world title at Bash in Berlin, a couple of months ago, I'm under the impression that if either man wins, this puts them in line for a future shot at the WWE title. Which, I mean, if it's Randy Orton, then obviously the mutual respect will be there, and it would be Cody's true test to see if he can truly remain the quarterback, if you will, as Gunther called him, the quarterback of WWE. And honestly, I think it's possible, but with how far this has gone, with how deep this got, I don't know, but I think Kevin Owens needs it. As crazy as it sounds, he needs this more than anything else. Because if he wins, guess what? He's back in line for title opportunities. So my money is on KO. Next up, we got Big Bronson Reed versus Seth freaking Rollins. I don't even know how to describe this one. This is a bit of a weird one. And the reason why I say that is because this all started just literally like a few months ago. A few months ago, like what after SummerSlam, where Bronson Reed attacked Seth by hitting him with not one, not two, not three, but 6 tsunamis, and Seth and Bronson had been at each other's throats for weeks on end, and I don't know if Seth has fully recovered from all the injuries that he suffered at WrestleMania, but that's what's gonna come into play because if he tries to utilize a buckle bomb or some sort of like big like power move that forces him to use his back and his knees and whatnot, it's gonna be a test to see if he can pull it off. But I don't think he's going to. I think for Seth, the injuries have just gotten have completely caught up to him. And if he gets injured again at Crown Jewel, there's really no telling what can happen next. So, as crazy as it sounds, as big of a fan as I am of Seth Rollins, I think Bronson Reed is going to take this one. Next up, we have the Women's Crown Jewel Championship between the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax and the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. Honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I really don't give a fuck who wins it. I mean, this is gonna be a blowout because from what I've been hearing, the Crown Jewel Championship is only supposed to be defended once a year at Crown Jewel. And if that is the case, then whoever becomes the first ever Crown Jewel champion next year, they have to defend that title against whoever is champion by next year. So it's gonna be interesting because you have probably two of the biggest female heels on the roster right now in both Nia and Liv. But it's weird because Nia Jax has Tiffany Stratton, and Liv Morgan has pretty much all of Judgment Day, including Dominic, including Dirty Dom, and of course Raquel Rodriguez. And with both Raquel and Liv also wanting the women's tag team titles, I don't know. This is gonna be a bit of a weird one, but I think with the fact that Tiffany Stratton has the money in the bank briefcase, she might cash in on Liv, but we'll have to wait and see. But I think Nia Jax is gonna take it. And as far as the men's Crown Jewel Championship, I don't know. I think it's gonna come. I think it's kind of gonna come down to who has the extra stamina to pull it off. Either is it Gunther, is it Cody Rhodes? This one is too hard to call. I think it comes down to who needs it more. And given the fact that Cody has been champion since WrestleMania, and Gunther has been champion since SummerSlam, I think Gunther needs it more. And I think by Gunther defeating Cody Rhodes, this will truly establish his dominance as world champion. But lurking in the shadows is not only Dirty Dom, but also Damian Priest. And we might end up seeing a triple threat match at some point, but we'll have to wait and see. But if I had to pick, I gotta go with Gunther. I think Gunther needs this more than anything else. Who knows? We will have to wait and see. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.